rather than a game, this is more of a project type activity. It can be as simple or as crafty as you want. There will also be a bit of writing and reflection time, with of course a chance to converse, because that's the wonderful thing about doing this project together. As many lady friends can participate as there is space on your table. For the prep work, it would just be to gather your materials ahead of time. The main supplies would be pens and scissors and a stapler, and some white and colored papers. And we're ready to begin. So the main objective in this project is to just create yourself some self-care coupons. Just because you deserve some extra love and attention. And you can load it up with your favorite treats and goodies. You can see this page for some examples of what you might want to include. And each time you feel especially low or maybe in need of a quick loving pick-me-up reminder, you can pick one of these. So here on this page, there's all the instructions you will need on how to do it, but I'll also be walking you through it in this video. So first of all, take your beautiful colored or patterned paper. You can choose one that stands out to you, one that you like, one that matches your colors. I'm going to be ripping this one out. I love the pink, as you might know by now. And then I'm going to measure 2 centimeters on my left side of the page. And I turn it around just so I can see my lines. And I give it a good fold. I use my scissors to push it down. And then I do the same fold on the other side. Next, I'm going to do a bigger fold. You can make it whatever size you like. The size doesn't really matter. I made mine approximately 8.5 centimeters, but feel free to go larger. I would say that this is probably the minimum size you want to make it. And then I cut the excess off, and then on the inside of the right side, I take off like 0.5 centimeter. And that way it can easily fold into the other flap. Now you will take your white sheets of paper, so I'm just using regular A4 size print paper, and I'm going to take my little book, again measure around 8 centimeters because that's the width of my book, and then I just draw some straight lines so I have some straight cuts, and I see how many I can fit onto the A4 sheet of paper. So I did mine 3 times. And now I'm just cutting out these columns. So I took 3 sheets of paper, but you can take however many you want, depending on how many little coupons you want to make yourself. And then I'm placing it inside to see how they fit, and also so I know where to cut for the height of my papers. So I'm leaving a little margin on each side, and I'm cutting this part off that I don't need. Next, I'm just eyeing 3 columns on that paper. I'm going to take just a few at a time because I'm going to rip mine out. You can cut yours if you want, but I love the ripped look. Kind of makes it more natural or crafty. So I'm just ripping each side of my little papers, trying to match them as much as possible, but even if they're not perfect, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to place them inside my little book. Make sure they're together, especially on the left side. And if they're a bit too big, you can always trim them out a bit. And here's where you'll need your stapler. Push them in real well. And then you just staple them onto the little flap, your left flap of your book. And I just do 1 good staple on each one. This keeps them together, and it keeps my little book together as well. And now I can easily just fold it in. That's why I wanted to cut it a bit, trim it up to fit perfectly inside. And there's my cute little book. Now's the fun part, we get to decorate it. So with my leftover white piece of paper, I'm just ripping it again for that crafty look on all sides, and I'm going to use this as my little title. Of course, you can make it however you want, with whatever you want, whatever crafty material you have. I'm just going very simple here as an example, and I'm going to glue it on the top here. It's fine even if it goes behind my little flap. And then I'm going to look through my stickers or pretty tags. What would I like to add to my front page? Of course, some flowers. So here's where you get to be crafty and use whatever material you have on hand. I have a little piece of brown paper, and I'm going to include that again to go crafty and for some extra contrast. And now I can add my flower here. And I'm going to write down my title, Self-Care Coupons. So you can name it what you'd like. Going a little fancy here with my lettering. That way it stands out a little bit more. And I'm going to draw a few little designs. We're treating ourselves this little time after all. And we can have fun doing this at a party atmosphere with all our lady friends who are artsy and creative. Now you will take your example page if you would like to use that, and you can include whatever little things you would like to do for yourself that would be special, that would be meaningful. So I'm getting a few ideas from this paper, and I can also think of my own that would be personal to me. I'm definitely going to add in some journal time. That's my special treat. Of course, something creative and artsy. So you think about, you ask yourself, what are those things that you love? What are those things that you don't really take the time for because you feel you don't have the time or you feel guilty doing it? Because those are the things that are important for our well-being, for our self-care. And you can fold them over and write down your next coupons. What would you like to gift yourself or treat yourself to? So this is a beautiful gift we can give to ourselves and to each other. That's why I like doing it with my lady friends during a wellness party, because we even get ideas from each other and we inspire each other on. And once you do it, you can choose one that you would like, or you go from the beginning to the end and you just rip it out, which means that you've done it. Or what I like to do is just write a little check mark. Sometimes I write the date to show when I've done it. That way I can go back to them and it's like, whoa, I've done all those things for myself. And you can celebrate those wins. I also like to include a little note to myself. Why am I doing this? Because when I know my why, it keeps me motivated to keep doing it. So it's my little book, it's my little love coupons, just because. Sometimes you don't have to have a reason, but if you want to give yourself one, you can. So I'm putting this little note here to remind myself that it's for my good. It's a loving gift to myself. And of course, feel free to decorate this part as well with whatever little scraps you have left or more stickers. When I did this one with my lady friends, some just loaded it with stickers, and that's what made them happy. So do that. Follow your heart. There we have our beautiful little coupon book. Perfect to use for that next little moment you have, just for yourself, even if it's 5-10 minutes. Or if you're especially low and need a little booster. Here's another one I made during one of my parties. Feel free to make them however you wish, whatever speaks to you. For this one, I decided to use those 3 columns as different ways to treat myself. One with things that are nourishing to my body, another one nourishing to my mind, another one nourishing to my spirit. Kind of like categorizing it. That way I know what I can pick, I know what I need at the time. And there we go, your own little self-care coupon book. I hope you get to treat yourself to one of these, and most of all, enjoy the process of creating it with your lady friends during your party.